Mhm. All right, hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to actually, the season finale edition of Racers News Network Live. Um, this is our Christmas show, and the way decided we're ending the year and getting ready for 2026. And of course, I have to my left, I don't know where he is in the big picture of everything on the computer. Um, Keith Sanka, my co-host. What's going on, pal?
How are you, sir?
I am doing well. And a gentleman that is below me that we are very, very proud to be able to chat with tonight. And of course, I am talking about Marvin Blaney. Good evening, Marvin. It is very good, and we're very honored to see you.
Good evening. Thank you. Appreciate
You're
that.
very welcome. You're very welcome. Pete, I'm going to pass it out to you, my man.
Marvin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I have to say that if there was a definition of ending the season on a high note, as far as this show is concerned, this is about as high as it gets, in my opinion. Very grateful to see you. Thank you for taking the time to come on and tell us how you're doing, my friend.
Doing good considering. We're still trying to get rid of an infection in my foot. I think we're making headway, but they've got me on a combination of two antibiotics that they want to use as a 7 week course, and we're only a few weeks through that. I'm looking forward to it being done because it's really hard on the digestive system. My stomach's upset every day. But all that's necessary so that they can redo the skin graft on the heel of my right foot. They've redone the tissue graft, but they haven't been able to apply the skin graft yet.
Gotcha. So that's the next procedure once you get the infection under control.
Yeah, so I think my hands they're done with. I have a follow up appointment tomorrow afternoon for those as well. But this just follow up because of they've removed the sutures a few weeks back and just want to make sure everything's going well. Um, and then of course there's the prosthetic appointments, but we're waiting to hear back from insurance on that.
Yep. Excellent. So you're feeling better, more mobile all the time. I can only imagine that coming home from as long as you were away must have felt like you were coming back to Disneyland.
Yeah, September was a month of mixed emotions for sure because um, OSU and the division of OSU that's Dodd Rehabilitation Center had done a lot of um, PT and OT with me and
Mhm.
thought that the tissue graft and skin graft was good on my right foot. So, I was starting to walk. I drove April's dad's side by side. I drove her Camaro once. And then we go for follow up at University of Michigan and find out that the skin graft had failed and they were going to have to remove the tissue graft as well. So, like I said, mixed emotions.
Yeah,
Smiling
you're
one
on a
moment.
roller coaster for sure, right?
Yeah. But we're getting close to getting that redone. So hopefully we'll have some good news in a few weeks.
Dynamite. We're all praying for you.
Thank you.
Um, Couple things. Tell us what got you into racing. How long have you been racing for?
Well, I raced off and on when I was 16 and 17. Got a lot more involved with racing just a couple years after that, to the point I was racing every weekend and racing at two tracks. I used to live in Delaware, Ohio, a little bit outside of the city, and so I raced at Marion County until it became defunct, and I raced at National Trail Raceway. Those were my two home tracks. Somewhere in the mid '80s, I started running Division III nationals and divisional events. So then it became every other weekend instead of every weekend. Um, uh, what got me into racing was I worked with my dad um, when he would be at home doing maintenance on his truck or one of his cars. And I just enjoyed spending time with my dad working on different things. We rebuilt engines right there in the driveway. Um, we changed clutches, transmissions, whatever we needed to do. So from all that, um, I just really got interested in the high performance side of it and started racing.
Nice. Nice. What classes have you raced?
Well, we started out the occasional racing with my '67 Chevelle Super Sport, but the main race car after that was that was street driven, so I didn't race it that often. Next one was my '69 Camaro, which started out as a street driven car as well, but I turned it into a race car that we are going to restore and bring back to the street again, but
Oh, very
it'd be
cool.
in pro street form because it's got a strut front end under it now and so forth.
Yeah.
But that car we've raced in several different bracket classes. We raced it in Super Street and Super Raw. We ran it in Super Gas. That was the last class I was racing it in. Before I got involved with Top Sportsman, I bought an ex pro stock car that had been raced in quick classes as well, like quick 32s and quick 16s,
Mhm.
and we upgraded it for Top Sportsman. Um, when Norwalk was still um, the place to be for the Top Sportsman Race of the Year, the national event, we were always there, and you could see our car from year to year be upgraded and going quicker. It ended up running in the high sixes at over 200 mile an hour. Um,
Wow.
so we had people there that said, "Wow, the quickest we'd went was in the 17s with that car." We're real happy to see that you're in the 690s with it, and that you're over 200 mile an hour with that car. It was a really good car. I could throw more power at it. The more power I put to it, the more it liked. The only thing we had to do to make it just a little bit more docile appearing coming out of the starting line was it did not have an anti-roll on the car when I bought it. We put
Yep.
an anti-roll on it and it made it launch a lot more even instead of twisting. We used to almost drag the passenger side quarter panel before we put the anti-roll on.
Yeah. Did you do a lot of the chassis work yourself, or did you have
Um,
it done?
just the adjustment. The only person other than the original builder that I would allow to do any TIG welding on my chassis is James Wyatt, Big City James Wyatt. He's from near Circleville, Ohio. He upgraded that car, and he upgraded things on my brand new '63 Vet, the one that was involved in what happened on July 9th.
Yep.
But James finished that car. I bought it from Terry Murphy. It was a Terry Murphy chassis. Terry had built the chassis for himself and had the body temporarily mounted, but not permanent because all the accessory brackets needed to be finished, interior work needed to be done. Um, James did a very nice job with that car. That car we had taken and showed it just a few weeks before July 9th and had won a trophy with it.
Oh, very cool. Excellent. Good deal. So, we know that from the accident, you had a tremendous amount of support, outpouring. I believe when we talked to April, she said it was worldwide. People from other countries were reaching out and helping. How do you put that in perspective? How it makes you feel, the appreciation, because we've seen you come on Facebook and do the lives, and you thank people over and over again, but it's pretty incredible the amount of support that people give you. Um, how do you even put that into words?
It's difficult. Um, we uh we definitely believe in the power of prayer. Uh, I had to sign some papers I didn't want to sign within 10 days of this all happening once they woke me up in the hospital. And I didn't want to lose any fingers, but they told me it was necessary. Um, I think the thing that got me through it and helped me be able to deal with it better was that there were so many friends that came by the hospital, so many friends telling us they were praying. We had a friend that came from Florida, um, Mr. Hawkins, and we got a friend that is supposed to come visit from Florida that pulled me out of the race car. If it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't be here today. I can't get into details, but I'll just say he was not one of them on the starting line. None of them did that. He was from the far end of the racetrack, and luckily saw what was going on and came up there and cut the strap that had melted and was keeping me in the car. I opened the car door twice and tried as hard as I could myself, and I just could not um, get out because of the one strap.
Yep.
So it means a lot to me, definitely.
It's you could tell that whenever you came on, that it was, when you were thanking people, it was way more than just words. You could see the appreciation, for both you and April. It's like we always say: if you're ever losing faith in humanity, look at the outpouring of support when someone's in need in our racing community. How people step up to the plate, and I'm glad that you had that support, because I'm sure that you and April needed it very much.
We definitely did. Racers for Christ, Godspeed Ministry, Draw, they all been there.
Excellent. Well,
A
you
lot
guys
of
definitely, you guys definitely deserve it. No doubt about it. So, let's talk about good stuff. Tell us what the future looks like for you.
we're gonna take a break from racing. Uh, I've had a project on hold since probably 1985. I've bought OEM quarter panels and outer half of the inner wheel wells clear back then when they were still available, and they've been in storage for my 68 Z28 Rally Sport. So
Wow.
that's a number matching car with the original 302 Z28 engine in it still.
Wow.
So we are going to restore that one first and
Awesome.
show that car. And then, like I said, I'm going to put the 69 Camaro back to its SS trim and repaint it, because the exterior color that I really like that's on it right now won't match the green interior. It look kind of funny to have a blue car with green interior. So,
Yeah.
so we're going back to the dark green color. And if I remember correctly, I'm gonna have to look at some old pictures, but I believe the SS stripes were a light gold color. Um, and we'll put those back on it as well. And it'll be like I said, Pro Street. Um,
How long have you owned that car?
I've had both these cars since right after high school.
Oh,
So
wow.
so
Very cool.
mid to late 70s for both of them. And then I've
Excellent.
got a Nova that it's had quarter panels on it before, but one of the sides wasn't available in OEM. I finally found one in Indiana, and I have it in storage as well. So that car will get that quarter panel put on it too, and we'll probably change the front from the 73 front to 69 or 70 so it matches the 71 rear. And uh, it's it's uh, all 71 quarter panels and side windows and all that. So um, I, I'll do that. We used to like to tease that it was a new 73 release, but it wasn't. The car was clipped when I bought it, and whoever did it must have done it on a frame rack in a body shop because it was perfectly straight and professionally done. I
Yep.
don't know why they mix gears like that, but it's easy to change the front, so that's what I'm doing.
Sure. Awesome. Good deal. Well, it's good to see that you're still into the car stuff, and it's kind of like once it's in your blood, it's always there,
Right. And then
right?
we'll spend the hottest days of summer on our boat more often than we did when we were racing. So
Yep.
we love Lake Huron. We're only a little bit over 2 miles from the marina boat ramp in
Yep.
Sealing. So we live in the Thumb area, so we can drive over there in just over 2 minutes and launch a boat. So um,
Awesome.
Very cool. So
Good
the
stuff.
most the most important question then, when it comes to your cars that you're going to work on, which one has April laid claim on and said that one is mine? I don't care what you say.
The Z28 Rally Sport.
she's, she's not actually claiming it, but she is saying that that's the first one we're going to do, and
That's the one.
she knows that that's been my favorite car for many years, and that's been a project that I've always wanted to do and keep putting on hold. So she knows what that car means to me. Um, she picked that.
That's
There
awesome.
you go. That's
Good,
very cool.
good stuff. Good stuff. Well, listen, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming on. Anything that you want to say to the people tuning in?
I just want to thank everybody for prayers. I want to thank the people that went over and above and beyond, and even contributed money. I know one of April's friends started a GoFundMe clear back not too long after this happened, and I was admitted to the hospital, and I just appreciate that because um, it changed a lot of things by April staying with me every day and night, and I appreciate that she did that. But when she came back to the job that she thought she was going to be able to return to, they told her they had filled her position. So she's either going to have to be a paralegal somewhere else or find another job eventually. But we're going to get my foot taken care of first. Um, she's the one that's always changing my bandages, and that's a twice a day thing. So I appreciate the fact that she was there with me the whole time. It made
Yep.
things a little bit easier because I'm telling you, I hope I'm never in that situation again. That was a very tough time in the hospitals. A time that you don't want people to see those videos, a time you don't want to look at yourself in a mirror. Uh, I I know April had good intentions when she put videos up, but it really bothered me when they had the feeding tube in me and stuff. I was so happy to get that feeding tube out. It wasn't even funny.
Yep. Yeah. We look at a calendar and we say, it's been 5 months, and what feels like 5 short months for us probably felt like 5 years for you. We're very happy that you're sitting here 5 months later, and we're able to end the season with you, and we could see you and talk to you, and we're happy about that. But there's no way in the world that we could ever imagine how hard the last 5 months has been for both of you. We're glad that you found the strength. You were able to persevere and that you're here with us right now.
Well, thank you very much. It has been difficult. It was difficult seeing the summer pass and not being able to enjoy it. Her dad came by and winterized the boat for us, and I was hoping to take it out before it was winterized, but I was not in any shape to be taking a boat out.
Yep.
It's just one of those things you have to accept and hope you can do it the following season,
Right.
So we'll see where the car projects and the boat ends up. I've got higher performance parts for the boat. Already put some on and got some more. We'll see how that goes because we may sell that one and get a longer one. That one's 22 foot, and we may end up with something around 30 foot. I don't know, because we like to spend time on the lake, and I like to go clear up to Caseville and Tallis and places like that and back. And it's a little bit easier to do if you got a 30-foot boat instead of a 22-foot boat.
Yeah.
It
Excellent.
sounds like it's trawler lifetime for you guys.
Well, like April and I talked about, she knows, and I've mentioned it to her and others. I've never been ready for a rocking chair and don't plan to be ready for one now. When I do retire from work, it'll still be staying busy with cars and boats. And I don't know about motorcycles yet. We'll see what prosthetics say. My index finger, my thumb's pretty strong. I got really good grip on both hands, but anybody that rides motorcycles knows that you rely on your other fingers as well on your right hand. And so I don't know yet. If I have to sell one of them, that's our favorite bike, it's going to be a little bit hard because she loves riding that bike with me too. But you got to do what you got to do. So we'll get through this one way or another.
Yep. Trade a bike for a longer boat and it all works out, right?
There you go.
I hate to ask you a favor, but I'm going to ask you for a favor. As you're working on the car and you're progressing with it, if you could snap some pictures and put it on our page, just so that we could keep tabs on you and see how you're doing. And obviously, if you need any help in any way, anything that we could do, we'd be happy to help you out however we can.
I appreciate that. One of the guys that has stayed in contact with me ever since this happened, and he actually lives somewhere near James Wyatt. He actually told me he's got one part that I thought a friend was going to give me clear back in the mid 80s, and then for some reason they took the Camaro shell to a junkyard or somewhere and evidently got rid of it and never pulled the hideaway headlights. One of mine was broken when I bought the car, not the door itself, but everything attaches to the door. So
Yeah.
I think his name's Bill James. I hope to get those pieces from him so that when this car is completely finished and repainted and all buffed out and looking nice and shiny, the headlights will actually work without operating them manually. 67s are electric, 68s are vacuum. So I don't know what shape my vacuum cans are in yet, but we're going to find out.
That's awesome. Well, Marvin, thank you for coming on. Keep staying strong, and thank you for staying strong for us because we love watching the progress and checking on you to make sure you're good. Thank you to April for her interview a couple of months ago and setting this up. And like I said, we just look forward to watching your progress and watching your projects.
Well, thank you, and we'll definitely do that. April loves to take pictures, so I'm sure we'll get some good ones. And yeah, she's my rock. She's
There she
got me
is.
through this. I don't know if I would have made it without her because I'm afraid I wouldn't have signed the papers. And I already coded one night because I refused to sign them the first day they brought them to me.
Yep.
And the surgeon came to me the next day and said, if you code again, we might lose you. You need to sign these papers. So I signed them mostly because of my wife.
Yep. Yep. Well, thank God we're all here to tell that story instead of the alternative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
Thank you very
stuff.
much.
We're
Guys,
Blaney.
thank you very much. We know this was not easy for either one of you. We appreciate you more than you know. Thank you for spending some time with us.
We're Blaney
You're
strong.
welcome.
We're Blaney strong over here.
You're so welcome. And thank you for wanting to do this. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And just know that you have a platform here anytime. Progress, whatever you want to do, you reach out to us. We'll have you on. We'll post your pictures, whatever you got.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind, and I definitely appreciate it very much.
Dynamite.
All right.
All right, my
Obviously,
friend. Keep progressing.
we wish you the merriest of Christmases and happiest of New Year's.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you guys too. And if I don't talk with you before New Year's, have a happy New Year's too. Thank you.
Same
Everyone.
to you guys. Appreciate you.
All right, Marvin. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
You too. Bye now.
All right.
Take
All right.
care.
Have a good night. Bye, April.
See ya.
All right. Marvin Blaney was our guest tonight. Catching up on him and see how everything is going. So again, thank you very much, Marvin.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
And that, my friends, is how we end the year.
That
And
is how we do that stuff.
yeah, that's good
Yeah.
stuff.
It is.
Just for anyone tuning in, anyone who's ever been on the show knows how we operate, but obviously there's a bunch of you that have not been on the show. Before we go live, we talk to the person that we're interviewing, and we always ask, obviously, the questions that were asked tonight were a lot harder than most. But we always ask what they want to talk about, what's off limits, what they'd like to do, what they want to accomplish. So just know that any of the questions that were asked tonight were approved by April and Marvin. We are not in the business of making anybody feel uncomfortable. We're not in the business of speculation or drama or any of that stuff. So I would never pry. No desire. I don't want to ask uncomfortable questions. We do this for fun. This is not a news broadcast by any means. So just know that all the questions that were asked were approved beforehand, and nothing that was asked was off limits. Just something I wanted to share because that's how we do it.
Yep. That's how we take care of people. There's a time and a place for everything. And
Right.
when the person's ready to talk about it, then that's the time and the place. So,
I was not going to ask him about the day that it happened. Any memories of it or any of that. That's just, he started to touch on it, but he did that on his own free will, and he stopped when he wanted to stop. He started when he wanted to start, and that's totally fine with us.
yeah, it's very much like I have had phone conversations with the person that removed him from the car. He's somebody that we both know. Pete and I personally know him, and I'm not going to say who it is, just because again, it's not the right thing to do. But
Right.
I had personal conversations with him in regards to this situation, and told him I would leave it at that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at the end of the day, the number one thing is he was able to do the interview with us.
He
That's
was on this side.
exactly,
Yep.
exactly. We the single worst interview that I ever did was interviewing her shortly after the incident. And I am obviously I don't do this for a living. If I did, I'd be more broke than I already am. But um I've always been I have kids that come up to me during the day with personal problems. And I'm very good off the cuff at responding to them and handling the situation. And knowing that we were going to interview April, I really wanted to come up with a game plan of things that I was going to say and things that we were going to talk about. And when I tell you that that was the most awkward, I did not do a good job at all. I mean, I don't even remember things that I said. Um, I think now that I look back at it, I wasn't prepared for seeing the amount of grief that she was in. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense to you guys or not, but um, like Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Um, I had a plan, and when I saw her and I saw how hurt she was, I got punched right in the mouth, and I had absolutely no idea how to handle it. Again, probably some of that has a lot to do with me not having a clue about what I'm doing here in general. But the fact that from that interview to this one was polar opposite, obviously, and again, just the fact that we were able to A, have the interview, and B, that they wanted to have the interview, um, speaks volumes for them. And again, I got to take, if I'm not wearing a hat, but if I was, I got to take my hat off to Chris for lining all this up. A lot of things I've done with this program that I never ever would have done on my own. Everything from the people I've interviewed to the people that reach out to me to fundraisers and helping people. 90% of what I do as far as those things are concerned are because of the show. And I'm not the one who started the show. So I once again owe you a thank you for giving me the platform to experience these things. Um, that's
I,
it. I'm a lucky dude.
excuse me. Um, I read something very interesting um the other day, and it made me automatically think to us, what we've done here. Um, we aren't here striving for listeners or viewers or whatever. What we are here for and what we have created, and I firmly believe this, have after having read this, is that we've created a family. Are we Westbuck? No. Are we Brian Loans? No. Will we
Right.
ever be? Pretty good chance that the answer is again going to be no. But we have a good time with our people, our family. Most of our family is in Division One. Granted, a lot of people elsewhere know who we are, and we can joke around and have a good time with them. But that's what we've created. I don't care about getting a lot of viewers. It would be great. It'd be fun and fabulous and wonderful. But we've created more of a family atmosphere.
Yep.
We go to events. A lot of people know us from this. A lot of people
Right.
knew Pete because he's been around racing for 30 years, whatever. And I'm
Painful,
just,
isn't
it
it?
is, it's
30
painful,
plus.
you know, but
We'll go with 30 plus.
We'll go with 30 plus. We'll go with a hell of a long time. Well, you're what? What'd you say? You're what? 52, and you
I'll be
started when you were
53
like
in February.
53. So about yeah, almost right around 40 years.
Next summer, I'd have to look at the date to see, but I'm going to say late August. I will have owned that POS
Eight.
for 40 years.
Wow. His first race car.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
40 years. Good God.
And you still don't know what the hell you're doing with it.
Sure don't.
Does anybody ever look at you and say, when are you going to sell that?
No.
I know the answer, but
At this point, I don't think anyone would expect me to. I'd probably have the Great Revolt if if I did decide
once
to
you
sell
sold
it.
it.
Yeah. I'm guessing I'd have a lot more people pissed at me than not if I did. But yeah, it's been a while. It's a lot of time and a shit ton of money. But
Now, I may have asked you this in the past. I don't remember, so just work with me on it. But is that the first chassis you ever built?
that's the first tube chassis I ever round tube chassis I ever built.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many chassis have been under that car?
So the first one was just a back half, and then I had a square tube chassis with aftermarket A-arm front ends, like a Mustang 2 front end. And then I went to this. So really, it's only the third one. Um, but yeah, I mean, even this chassis, I was probably, I'm trying to think of when I built it. It was at the first garage that me and my dad opened. I was, yeah, probably 23, 24 years old when I built the chassis that you're looking at right now. So this one's been around a while.
Wow.
So I always wanted to build a car that could just like I want to prove that I could build a really, really nice car. Like chromoly, double frame rail, carbon fiber, tin work. My car looks pretty looking at it, but there's so many things that I either am a lot better at now than I was when I did that, or that it just got rushed because, you work on customers' cars, you make money. You work on your own car, you lose money. So you try and get through it as quick as you can so you get back to making money. Um, I always wanted to build a car that was just like start out with round tubing on a chassis jig, like I did with that. And just like if I do something and I don't like it, just take it out and start over again. The thing with most stuff on a race car, um, tin work, wiring, brake lines, all that stuff is we all know what looks good, but we don't necessarily like it's we kid ourselves a lot into accepting it. I remember when I started doing tin work. So, oh, could you tin my car? And I said, yeah. And I remember my father saying to me, you don't know how to do tin work. I didn't know how to do tin work, but I knew what good looking tin work looked like. So at the time, I mean, even now it's still fairly inexpensive, but at the time, a 4x8 sheet of aluminum was like 30 cents. It's like, right? You cut a piece off, you make a panel. If it looks like dog shit, you throw it out and you figure out what you don't like, do it again. Right? If the
Right.
B-roll came out crooked, screw it. You got a template for the next one. Just do it. So I mean, it's would it take me 5 times longer than the average person who does it every day? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, I know I could do something that would be lights out. But with the amount of time that I have to do it and the amount of mistakes that I would make before I got it right, I'd probably be 112 years old by the time it was done. So I'll stick with old red and just do little improvements every year.
Well, that's what you were. I don't remember if it was on here or we were talking on the phone or whatever. You said there's a couple things you're going to get fixed over the winter,
Yep. Yep. I
and
have paint bubbling on the roof. And it's not that bad when the sun is beating on it, or when the sun's not beating on it, but when it is, it's terrible. And it's something that I've struggled with on this car. Of course, it doesn't help that it's got 17 paint jobs under there. To give you an example, up at school, we have a mill gauge, which basically you put it on top of the paint and it'll tell you how many millimeters there is between the top surface and metal. The average paint job, like you would have on your daily driver, is anywhere from 4 to 6 mils between clear coat, base coat, primer, blah, blah, blah. We put a mill gauge on the roof of my car. It was 41 mils.
holy crap!
Ridiculous. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So the guy up at school said to me, we don't know what layer is bubbling between what layer, because I mean, literally, you hit that thing with a piece of sandpaper and it looked like you were cutting into a tree and counting the rings. There were so many layers of paint on it. So we ripped the whole roof down. Um, my front windshield is flush mounted, no trim around it or anything. It's flush mounted, but it's got a 3/4 inch rubber spacer to make it flush mounted. The problem with that is there's such a fine line between tightening the bolts and tightening them too much and having the windshield be wavy, or
Yeah,
not tightening them enough and having it loose. So, seeing as how we're painting the roof and the A pillars in the front cowl, I bought that scalloped metal stripping that, it's thin strips about this big and it's got the little the little swings in it with the bolt holes.
yeah.
And I took the windshield out. I was due for new Lexan anyway. That's like 10 years old in there. And I'm welding all the strips in, and I have a shrinker stretcher and I'm going around the corners and everything, and welding them in 3/16 of an inch from the outside so that I could bolt the window in, snug it down. It's going to be metal. It's going to be the plexi on metal, or Lexan on metal. The metal's going to be painted, so it's going to look good. And it's just, between that and getting rid of all the bubbles on the roof, that's this year's project. So that's it. Little improvements like that. I want to do a little more stuff to neaten up the wiring and stuff, and that's it. Just chip away at it. By the time I retire, the car will be perfect.
Ready for the next generation of what needs to be done to it.
I'd be all right with that too.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I remember when we put that camera in the car that time.
Yep.
I think you even commented, "Holy crap, that windshield's wavy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like I said, I picked one thing, and this stuff that I'm doing to it this year is kind of by default, because the guy I have that does body work up at school, I asked him about it, and he's helped with painting the nose and stuff too, so he knows the combination of the candy color and all that stuff. And I said, Bob, do me a favor and take a look at those things on the roof and tell me what you think is causing it. And I'm in my office doing something, and the next thing you know, he walks over to me with a piece about this big that he cut off the roof with a razor blade. And I said, well, I guess by you doing that, that's telling me that you want to fix it. He goes, oh, yeah, I wouldn't let you go out of here like that. But I mean, that's it's okay. Well, since we're doing that, we're going to do this, this, and this. And There's my winter project.
Yeah, you made me think about it. So let's go here
Yeah,
and
right.
there. And we're gonna fix
I
that.
get
Indeed.
there's something to be said when you don't really have a choice. It's like, okay, well, here we go.
Yeah, screw it. Let's jump right in.
That's all.
Cool.
So that's it.
So lots of schedules have dropped. Lebanon Valley dropped their schedule the other day. That's up on our
Yep.
page. Lot everybody's starting to get their stuff out, which is
Yep.
very cool. And I'm sure a lot more stuff will be coming out after this weekend, which leads me into the next topic. PRI at Indy, and you're headed there.
I sure am.
He's looking for free meals, free drinks, and is willing to take pictures and sign autographs to get them.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty easygoing as far as that's concerned. Pull up a chair, let's have a beer.
Yeah,
It's going to be a
yeah.
short trip. I'm going out tomorrow night and I'm coming home Friday night. So I won't even be there on Saturday. But probably have a drink or two when we get in tomorrow night, providing we don't have any delays or anything. We'll hit the ground running on Thursday, go out
Are
Thursday
you
night, and then the show and home on Friday.
are you gonna go to the breakfast?
What breakfast?
The PRI breakfast on Thursday morning? I think it's Thursday. Yeah.
I don't know. No
Yeah, when
idea.
when they have the guest speaker and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they do a lot of I don't know what night they go over to Lucas Oil Stadium and then they have the Drag Illustrated party on one of the nights and the breakfast like you're talking about one of the mornings. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't, the good thing about a guy's trip and just going is you don't really, the only thing I have on my agenda is walking through the show. I don't really care about dinners or whatever. I'd like to go to the show and I'd like to spend the night at Howl at the Moon, and I'm happy with that.
You gotta go to St. Elmo's.
No, I don't. It's too much friggin' money. I don't want to sound cheap, but you know what? If I'm gonna sit down and have a really nice meal like that, I want to do it with my wife. I mean, it's just we did when I went with Rich all the time. We would always go to one nice meal, but I can't. I'm freaking old. I can't eat late. When you go and you friggin' have an expensive meal like that, you feel like you gotta gorge yourself, and then you don't want to drink afterwards, which is the fun part, right? I'd rather have a couple pigs in the blanket and half a dozen beers. That's a good time.
I remember when I went, I don't even remember how long ago it was now, 7, 8 years ago, who knows. And I had heard the stories about St. Elmo's. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then I found out how much it was to per plate,
Right.
basically. Like, it's a little bit out of my budget for this year.
It's
And then
I don't mind spending the money, especially if it's good. Because let's face it, it's not something you do once a week or once a month, right?
I
If you're gonna do it, you do it. If I'm gonna do something like that, I want to do it with my wife.
I
It's just a to me an expensive, intimate dinner is something that you do with your wife
with Duran drinking out of the 3 foot long pink
out of the
straw.
sippy cup. I would spend a lot of money on a meal if I could watch him do that again. That would be worth it. So that's it. How's the comment section? Anything going on in there?
A lot of people just saying hi to Marvin in April, which is cool.
Excellent.
That is absolutely fun.
Good.
Yeah, Steve did ask, how many colors has that car been? Your car.
So the first one was all yellow. Then it was yellow with teal and blue scallops on the front of it. I think they were called scallops at the time. Then it was yellow and white. Then I sold it for a year and a half and it came back teal. Then we painted it purple and then red.
Yeah, because you had the when I first met you, you had the purple with the with all
All
the
the shit all
stripes all
over it,
over it.
right?
Oh, I love that.
Fresh
Absolutely
out of the
love that.
1980s, that paint job was, boy.
Oh, that was awesome. Not that there's anything wrong with this paint job, obviously, but
Yeah, yeah. This is my wife's vision right here. I was never a red guy, and she said, "This is what I'm thinking," and I'm like, "All right, that'd be pretty cool." Then I had a rendering done of it, and I liked the way the rendering looked, and here we are.
yeah, because didn't you get it painted that color red and then all the ghost flames and everything was after the fact, right?
No, no, it was when
No?
it was red, it had ghost flames on it. The one thing I did was when we painted it red, I was cheap. The fiberglass nose that was on it was about 150 years old. I bought it used back when I first got the car. That's how old the nose was. Um, and every time you mount it and you screw something up on it, I'm trying to figure out how to do this here. This right here, this seam, I never did it perfectly. So when it came time to repaint the car, I would remount the nose and I would redo that seam and try and make it perfect. But after you do that a couple of times, it brings the nose, it makes it shorter and shorter. Um, so it got to the point where it had a bunch of stress cracks on it and all that stuff. So I said, screw it, let's do a new nose. And I wound up getting another fiberglass nose and then painting it again. But just the front half of the car, we still didn't touch the back half. Um,
Gotcha.
so now, ever since it's been red, we completely redid the nose, and now we're completely doing the roof. And you could see where it says direct cabinet sales right there.
Yep.
Well, when that sponsorship was no longer and we took the stickers off, it left a mark on both sides that you could see if you look at it. So now when he's painting the roof, he's going to bring that down and get rid of that so that you won't see that. But again, that car was painted that color in 2017, and here we go. We're probably only going to have half a door that's from the original 2017 paint job. So you can see how quickly the mills stack up when you have a stupid car that you keep messing with.
Now, was it complicated when you went from the hood scoop to the cowl induction?
No, because originally it was so what you're seeing right now was the original red paint job. And then what did I do? I ran a taller intake with the throttle stop under the carburetor, and I couldn't get it to fit. This combination right here, the carburetor was so close to the bottom of the scoop, it was actually hurting me. And then I wanted to do a different throttle stop that was a little bit taller. So we took a scoop, epoxied flanges on the inside of it, and mounted it on top of that and bolted it from the inside.
Yeah, because that
Um,
was the scoop that I had on my wall that I put the lights in.
you got it. That now I
Yeah,
have it hanging on my wall. It's red.
yeah,
And then when we went to the new nose, we put the cowl hood back on it. No, I'm wrong with that. I put the new nose on, but still had the hood scoop, painted that. Then when I went to fuel injection and the linkage stopped, we put the hood on and I had Jerron come up and paint just the hood. And he was able to go, because I had the old hood still there, he was able to make a template of the flames we mounted the new hood on, put the template on, made it all line up, and away he went. Then we painted that. So right now, everything is the same for the hood I have on the car right now, or I could take that hood off and put my hood with the hood scoop on it, and all the flames line up, and all the mounts are the same, and everything is just literally put it on, Zeus it, and off it goes, and I could have either combo.
Very cool. Sorry. Jaganave said to say hello.
Hello.
So Whitey said he's ready to buff and ceramic coat whenever you're ready.
We're gonna be in need because she's gonna need some TLC after this project, so
Yeah.
I'll be hitting them up.
So obviously your racing schedule can change by the minute. But what are you anticipating for yourself for 2026?
I am anticipating Super Street at the Valley. I
Series?
really want to run the points up there for the whole season and be competitive. I'd like to do that. I'd like to do the divisional at Epping and Lebanon Valley. Um, I'd like to do the Duzen. Did you see the schedule for the Valley? Is the Duzen on it?
I saw the schedule, but I didn't really look at it.
Study it, yeah. So I'd like to do the Duzen if that's still there. I'd like to race at Scotty Wheels races up there. And I mean, that's pretty much going to take up whatever
Both
time
of
I
your
can dedicate to racing. So,
yeah, your 2.5, 3 months of summer.
yeah, right, right. The main thing is I want to race with my kid. Not only I don't have to tell you how much Brendan's into it. We already know that. But the last race of the year, my son Peter came up, and he seems to kind of be interested in it. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. But racing with family locally beats the shit out of any traveling that you could do by yourself. So I'll take that any day of the week.
Now, obviously, I've met Brennan numerous times. I've met both the girls. I've
Yep.
never met Pete. How old is Peter?
Peter's 20.
Peter's 20. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he turned 20 in September.
Oh, cool.
I don't have any more teenagers. God,
Now
I'm
you
getting
just
old.
got to start getting ready to pay for some weddings.
Well, we're just getting over the college thing, so that'll be done this year. Thank God, because that was painful. So
Oh,
I figure by the time I'm 80, I'll be done with all the kids' expenses.
yeah. And then you can
Maybe.
just pay for your funeral and you'd be
Yeah,
all
yeah,
set.
pretty much. Yep.
Or do it the way I did. That's the smart way.
Have it all paid for, ready to rock, right? Yep.
Yep. Um, well, now that I'm free to ram the roads again, I'm definitely I'm gonna go to the divisional, obviously, at the Valley and at New
Yep.
England. More than likely, I will go to the national event in Epping. I'd
Yep.
like to try and get back to coming to the Super Street races, the Nessa Series at the Valley. I want to hit up a couple of Scotty Wheels races because I haven't gotten the chance. It just when I was still driving originally, it just never worked out schedule wise.
Right.
And then obviously this past summer is a wash.
Yep.
Um, the Duzen race, and Elijah and I are going to be hitting up a couple of endurance races. So
Very cool.
yeah, he's talking about he might want to go to Montreal for the Formula One race.
All right. Nice.
Yeah, not till you see how much it would cost him. Oh my God, dude. That'd be a racing budget for 2 years.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna go pack for PRI and call it a night.
Yeah, but again, I decided for us that this is going to wrap up 2025. It's been a fantastic year. You know, we're growing and growing and growing still. Um, I want to say thank you to everybody that donated to the cause back last December and January and stuff. Um, to say it was another rough year for me would be the understatement of the year. And but I made it through and I'm still here and we're looking forward to 2026
Yep.
and Pete's going to be at PRI, so if anybody else is going, make sure you chase him down and he's going to take pictures when he can for us and
Yeah,
do
and
some.
while you're thanking people, and it's funny because it came up in my Facebook memories when your situation happened and I wanted to raise some money for you. I put a post out there that I actually blocked you from seeing, you and Tanya, that I wanted to do a GoFundMe, but I didn't want any of the money to go anywhere else but to you. And I basically put feelers out there that, like, help me out. Should I do a GoFundMe where people trust, or do you guys trust sending your money to me and that I mean, the people that know me, know that it wouldn't be an issue. But I obviously knew that there were going to be a lot more people donating than just our close circle.
Right.
And the amount of support I got from all you guys and the amount of people that reached out to me and said, just take the money, we trust you.
Yep.
It was overwhelming. And like I said with Marvin on the show earlier, if you're ever losing faith in humanity, just help a racer in need, and it's just changes everything.
Right.
So thank you for trusting us, and more importantly, thank you for making us look good. With any of these fundraisers that we do or shows that we do at divisionals or whatever, it's you guys that support us that make us look way better than we really are.
We need all the help we can get looking
Boy,
good.
you're not kidding.
But
I couldn't even get
just
that
to,
out without laughing.
I know, but to add just a little bit more to the fundraiser thing that Pete did last year, he sent me the names of the people and
Yep,
said, "Don't." And he prefaced it by saying, "Please don't read it on the air."
right.
And I said, "Okay, cool, I won't." But I reached out to those that I knew. The part that blew me away, really blew me away, was there were people on there I had no freaking clue who they were.
Like my
I
aunt.
literally, I think one day we were talking on the phone, and I'm like, I'm looking at the list, and I'm going, "Who the hell is this?" Oh, that's my cousin. He lives in Texas.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
oh, who's this? Oh, that's a friend of mine that comes in and gets work done on their car at my shop.
right.
I'm like, holy crap.
Again, that's got very little to do with you and me, and got a lot more to do with just the quality of the people that tune in and want to help out.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I mean, my aunt, she's like 80 years old. She might be a little younger than that, but anyways, she's barely on Facebook.
Yeah, she's 65.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, if you're trying to get more money, stop, will you please? But it's like she comes walking in and she hands me a $20 bill or whatever it was. I said, "What's this for, Auntie Linda?" And she goes, "Oh, I saw your post online about your friend who needs some help. I want to help." And that's what people do. And like I said, it's just it really, when you see people step up to the plate, it's heartwarming. So
Yeah. And of
that's
course,
why we do what we do, right?
being the delusional, demented person that I am, there were two people specifically that I called. You and Lauren Coltrera from Eastern VP. two of
Yep.
my best friends in the whole world. And they answered the phone. They're like, "Hi." And of course, what were the first words out of my mouth? Being again the meathead that I am, I died.
Right.
I didn't even, "Hi, how are you? How's it going? Guess what?" But I mean, if you can't laugh at the situation, then whatever.
That is right.
So, but yeah, so thank you to everybody that's made this what it is. Like I said, it's not about, like I said earlier, it's not about listeners. Oh, somebody's sending you something, aren't they?
So something really cool. Marvin just sent me pictures of his Camaro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, very
No
cool.
shit.
And
Nice.
he's saying, "Did you see me at the races when I was competing?" So this must be a Division 1 race. I can't tell by the background.
I saw pictures of, I don't remember, I don't know if it was him or April that posted it, of the car that he said it's going to be a pro street car. I don't
Yes.
remember if it was super street or a super street car or a super gas car. I think it's blue-ish.
Yes, that's the picture he just sent me.
Yep. So
Yeah, very cool. He did say before we went on the air, he did say that he raced at a couple of Division 1 tracks.
yeah,
So maybe Maple Grove.
right. That's not too far of a haul from the Ohio area.
Right, right.
I think that's where he said he was living at that time.
Yep.
So
So very cool.
yep.
All right, brother. Thanks for another great year.
Yep. And we will be back in 2026. If you're going to PRI, stay safe, have a great time, and enjoy. Merry
See you
Christmas,
guys.
happy holidays, and everything else that goes with it.
All that good stuff.
All right, everybody, have a great year. Into the rest of the year. We'll talk to y'all soon.
See
See
you.
ya.